Hello there. What's going on, traders around the world? This is Mohammed Kande coming at you guys with a new video. We are going to take a look at the silver market. Super excited to actually dissect this market, and wanted to go over it with you because there's a lot of upside opportunity in the silver market right now. And but before we get to that upside, I have a contrarian view to what a lot of people are thinking is going to happen in the markets, and I wanted to kind of go over that with you guys. We'll take a look at it. So this right here, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. This is going to be the best breakdown, best technical analysis out there on silver that you're going to find, bar none. Bar none. So we're going to start on the 3-month chart, and then we're going to work our way down. Okay, and we're going to break this market down. And I just want to kind of give you guys an idea. Okay, first of all, I want to let you guys know that I am extremely bullish on silver. I think that silver has a lot of upside. Silver hit $50 in 1980, and it hasn't come back to that area ever since. And I believe that silver is the only asset class that has not breached its 1980 all-time high. Meaning that every other stock, every other asset class that was around in the 80s, whatever high they printed then, it has already broken above that high and made a higher high. So silver is the only asset in this world that has not breached its 1980 high. That is already ridiculous when you think about it. So there's a lot of upside that we have here. So, but let's jump into the technicals, okay? So one thing that I want to point out is that we are in an uptrend. So price push down here. We had a pullback. We had another push down. We had a light pullback right here. We had a push down right here, light pullback, and then we had a push down. And then price created this initial push to the upside right here. We had a push down, right? It kind of wicked out over here, and then price kind of created another push up here, and then we had a higher high. So we know that we are officially in an uptrend, right? So now we're looking at a decent pullback area, and that's what I want to talk to you guys about. I don't think that silver is ready to take off quite yet. I am looking for a deep pullback. I'm looking for a pullback into this 1850 area, or maybe up until this 1780 area before we get that push to the upside. And I'm going to explain to you guys why. So and this is solely based on technical analysis, guys, right? So price has created what I call an M pattern. So price created a middle here. We had a double top, and then usually this extends all the way to the 78.6. Right? So an extension, a pullback all the way to the 78.6 brings us to $15.52. Okay? But we have a very strong area of support and resistance at 1850, 1860 area. So price may bounce back from that area and we continue, or price may push all the way down to the 1550 area before we get that strong push to the upside. So this is what I'm looking at, okay? So this is my first confluence that we're probably going to the downside. If you guys take a look at the way that the market closed this last quarter was an extremely bearish engulfing. This engulfing engulfed the last 1, 2, 3 candles, and that's crazy. So the last 3 quarters, so from October of 2020 all the way up to April, these last 3 quarters have been engulfed by the July candle. So that's already setting a very strong precedent, letting us know that we're probably going to continue to push down, right? And you may get a small push to the upside, 23, 24 cents before price actually continues to push down. 50% retracement of this candle is not unlikely, and I can definitely see that happening. But let's go down further to the downside just to kind of take a look at it, okay? So we know that we are in an uptrend. So we know that this at the close of September was the end of the 3rd quarter, and we had this bearish engulfing, very strong candle, indicating that we're probably looking to go to the downside some more. So let's push it to the monthly side, okay? So if you guys take a look at it on a monthly, this area right here, very strong area, very strong rejections. So a break of this area right here will be the catalyst for definitely what we are looking for, right? But before we there, strong rejections on this area, you have sort of a triple top, right? So price pushed into this area once and tried to break it, it couldn't, pull back. Pushed into it again, it tried to break it, it couldn't. And then it pushed into it again, tried to break it, it couldn't. And then finally we had that big rally to the downside. And when we had that big rally to the downside, what did price do? Price created its initial impulse leg while knocking down this area of structure right here. So you have an area of structure right here that has been breached. All right, so let's get rid of these. Let's get rid of these lines right here. So this is what we call the initial impulse leg. This was the initial impulse leg, right? A pullback, a light pullback into this area, this $24 area, and then a strong push to the downside is highly likely. You know what I mean? That's what I'm looking at. You know, overall, long-term bullish, but short-term right now, these next 90 days, I personally do not see silver breaching this $27, $28. A lot of people are calling for a $30 silver by the end of the year. I don't believe that that's even remotely close to what's going to happen in the markets. And then if you guys take a look right here, last month and at the end of last quarter, we closed below this very strong support at 22.43. So that indicates that we're probably going to continue to the downside, right? If you guys take a look, the last area where we had that close was 22.61, right above. So we finally got that close below this this nice little support area. So I definitely see further move to the downside. Now let's push it down to the weekly. And then if you guys take a look at as well, what we talked about, that pattern that I was talking to you guys about, right? 1552 is that sweet spot. 1850 is where I'm going to start accumulating personally. I don't think that it's a good, I don't think $22 is a good area to start accumulating unless you just have that type of risk tolerance. I'm very tolerant, but I'm not that tolerant. I'm not interested in buying silver at 22. I think that a further push to the downside is very much likely based on these technicals, okay? So that's on the weekly, and if you guys take a look on the weekly as well, we are still in an uptrend right here, right? We had this push right here, and then we had some sideways movement, a little push to the upside, down, and then we had this initial impulse right here letting us know that we're getting ready to change trend. And if you guys take a look at my past videos, I always tell people that market respects structure. It may be a day, it may be a week, it may be a month, it may be a year, it may be 2 years or 3 years, but price always comes back to retest structure. And guess what? Price has not come back to retest this structural area right here. Price has not come back to retest this structural area, and I'm looking for price to come back to retest this structural area all the way down to this zone right here. This is a very, very strong zone. Price has broken this zone, and it took a while. You know, if you guys take a look right here, 1868. 1868 was a very, very strong area. Price struggled with it in this area right here, broke below it, and then popped his head above it, came back right below it, and kind of traded sideways again until we had this strong bullish engulfing to kind of break out of this area. So I definitely look forward to price coming back to retest this area, retest it, and confirm the support, because it played a very, very strong role as resistance here, as support here. Price has to come back and retest this area as support. This confirmation right here is more than likely what I'm looking for. Now, we could get a little bit of slippage down before we continue up, but 1860 is definitely a great area to start accumulating on silver, okay? So now let's push it down weekly. So I wanted to show you guys this small little trend line, small little downtrend that began on silver. So this is where we kind of start to get into the nitty-gritty of things. If you guys take a look at it on the monthly, you didn't see a pullback into this area right here. On the 3-month chart, we don't see a pullback into this area because of this wick right here, but the wick actually breached into it. So if you look at it on the weekly, you actually have a retest of this area. So price broke this area after the triple top, right? 1 top, 2 top, 3 top. Initial impulse leg, breaking this area right here. Price perfectly retesting this area. Bullish, bearish engulfing, right? Railroad pattern, and then price just drops. Now, of course, price is at a nice little support area. Very, very strong weekly support at 22.43. So I believe that it's going to take a while before we get a break of this area. And this nice pin bar right here is telling us otherwise. So we'll see, right? So and this is what I wanted to get down to. A break of this trend line right here. Let me push it down to the daily real quick so we can kind of take a look at this trend line a lot better. So this is what I'm looking at right here. A break of this trend line A break of this trend line. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I would like to see to confirm this push to $30, or at least to retest 28 bucks. I want to see a break of this area, push down, break above, pull back to this area, this structural area right here. If price holds, then we can definitely see a push into the $30 range, right? We can definitely see, and that will be the beginning of a nice uptrend, right? So that'll be the beginning of a nice little bullish trend right there, right? And price will be moving along quite nicely. Highly unlikely, because I personally believe that silver is suppressed right now. So I don't think that we're going to get that push that we see right there. But we may very well see that, right? And another thing that I wanted to show you guys is this, right? Like I said, this is technicals, so we are sticking to the technicals. So we have a shoulder, we have a head, and then we have a shoulder. Boom. Right? And if you guys take a look at it, boom. Right? You have a beautiful head and shoulder pattern right here in the markets, right? This is the overall top head and shoulder. And then if we draw these sticks right here, right? Once price broke out of this neckline, we're retesting the neckline now. So if price does fall from this area right here, price is headed right where I said it would, this $15 area, which would be the 78.6 of that M pattern. So, you know, technicals are definitely aligning. You know what I mean? If fundamentals, if something happens with the market and fundamentals go awry, and then you get a crazy push, you know, you get some crazy volume to come into silver, like all these value investors start pushing into the silver market, then you get that strong push to the upside. Yes, but very, very much unlikely. Okay. So let's take it on to the 12-hour chart, actually 6-hour chart. Let's take a look at it on the 6-hour, just to kind of see price movement, right? I just want you guys to see how healthy this this trend line is. It's a very good sloping trend line right here. Price is respecting it quite well. Let's put it right here actually. Price is respecting the trend line very well. Boom. You had a mild little break over here, but not much. So you have a push down, pull back, push down, pull back, push down, pull back, push down. So we're looking for that pullback into these areas right here, right? $23, and then a continuation to the downside. So that's what I'm looking at on the silver markets. You know, so for the most part, I am bearish, you know, unless we get a very, very strong close of this. Let me take this off. Unless we get a very, very strong close above this trend line right here. I believe this trend line has been holding since May, since second quarter. So unless we get a break of this particular trend line, then I'm still very much bearish into the 1860 to 1550 price range. So let me know what are your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know what are you thinking. Let me know if there's anything that I missed. And I'm happy trading for all my position traders out there who plan on accumulating and taking a very, very strong position on silver. I definitely recommend to be patient and wait to the $15 to $18 range. I think that's good value at that point, and I think that we're going to start seeing an amazing rally from there. So happy trading, everyone, and I look forward to seeing what you guys have to say in the comment section. Peace.